Okay, good morning. Today is November 11, 2017. My name is Julian Restrepo. I live in Manizales with my two children and my wife. I am currently disabled by a traffic accident that I had on December 31 of last year after leaving work, presenting fracture of the tibia, fibula, and knee. Currently, I am waiting for surgery so I can start the recovery process. I really like to play with my children, listen to music, go for a walk with my family, and play soccer. Something I will not be able to do again. Also, I like to watch sport like Formula One and American football. The topic I choose refers to political and social aspects in the United Kingdom and Colombia. This because it seemed very interesting to know aspects of English culture through the learning activity for, which tells you that the English have many cultural aspects similar to yours. It is interesting to know that in this country its food is very similar to that of a typical dish of our culture, which is called paisa try. Also, the mode of public transport, of which we are a copy of them, but ours is not so efficient like theirs. Another point that stands out is the kindness and courtesy that most Englishmen have, aspect is which Colombians are also strong. At this point, there is a difference, and it is the one that refers to the fact that the English are more calm with respect to the Colombians, since the latter are euphoric, more euphoric. Going into the political issues, this is where there are several differences. One of them, which I consider is the main one, is the mode of command, where the English execute is through a monarchy being the queens or the king of the time to church or leading the country, while in Colombia the leadership is guided by the president of the nation. Another big difference is the time to choose the leader or king of these two nations, while in Colombia is directed by the vote of the people giving their confidence to a candidate for the presidency. In England, it is known from the beginning who will continue on the thrones after the current King of Queens, since this leadership is presented by inheritance. Okay, this is answer the following questions. The question number one is, which do you think could be some aspect that allowed the birth of the British Empire? Okay, it can be said that the main facts that allowed the British to build an empire were commerce, establishment of profitable links with other parts of the world, and the unstoppable flow of immigrants from Britain, where they fled politics but later realized they they fly politics but are later realized that they can have a better life in other continents. Also, it can be identified that the British tried to take control of different territories and thus be able to govern in order to expand their trade through colonization and conquest. Uh, Question 2. Which would have been the advantage and disadvantage if Colombia had been conquered and colonized by the British? I believe that if the British Empire had conquered Colombia, we could have more opportunities for growth. If we had been conquered by the British at this time, we would not handle the Colombian peso. But the pound sterling, which would be a monetary advantage for the country, for how strong is the currency in that territory. A disadvantage would be war that does not mean that we not have today, but if we had been invaded the British, wars would be in greater numbers at the time. England was the world power and trust with people like Napoleon, however, over time lost its power. No longer the powerful empire that characterized by replaced by United States. Finally, we must understand that regardless of who invaded our country, we are not those who inhabit it. Too, we must understand that the continent was not only invaded by the Spaniards, but also French, Italian, Portuguese. Had it not been for them, had it not been for them, there would not be so many different language, accents, and cultures. However, if we had the British settlement, it would be more organized, it would be more disciplined, it would be an example. I think it goes in age for us, for obvious. Question 3. What is your opinions? What is your opinion surrounding the birth of the British Empire and its evolution? In my opinion, I think that it leaves great teaching not only of conquest of war, but also of strategy for the economic growth of a country. Signs of this empire are great world powers like the United States, Canada, Israel, India, United Arab Emirates, among others. In addition, in addition, I highlight the way in which this empire grew, being the largest in the world and how England was never colonized by anyone and remains a great world power. Question 4. What extraordinary characteristics do you find in both American and British literature? The evolution of English and American literature has been positive, going through topics such as Romanticism, where North America relied on the landscape and the primitivism of its inhabitants, and that at the time tried to describe local problems, and the time of Renaissance English literature was directed by religious themes, where poetry and theatre were main characters in his writing, reaching special characteristics and human behavior and the birth of such an important person as William Shakespeare. I think one of the most extraordinary characters is in the writing of poems. Question number 5. It no no excuse me. Is there any writer you feel admiration for? The truth, I have no admiration for any writer, but they did highlight the works of our writer Gabriel Garcia Marquez or those of the poet Pablo Neruda, in addition to the books of personal improvement writing by Carlos Cuauhtémoc Sanchez, which I have read with much interest and its entirety. And finish. Would you like to live? Would you like to live abroad? Why? Of course, not only because there may be more and better opportunities for my family, but also because it is interesting to know the development of other countries and their cultures. Thank you very much for your attention, for for very much for very much questions, and see you later. Thank you.